Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading, and I apologise for being absent again yesterday. It has been a very busy week in my little world, lots of extracurricular activities and meetings, people needing my time, and so I'm sorry that I haven't really been with you very much this week. Hopefully things will calm down next week. We've got Mercury retrograde coming up, which to me as a tarot reader means hopefully I will be more at my tarot table than away from my tarot table. We also of course have a big eclipse season coming up starting this weekend and carrying on through into the middle of May. It's across the Taurus Scorpio axis, very important for the royals. We have of course a Taurus Queen and a Scorpio King in waiting, and so I'm going to be looking at that over this coming weekend. Hopefully Fluffy has come to join us. The scratching is a Fluffy coming for a snack. I am going to be doing a reading right now, Celtic Cross, on the news that Harry and Meghan allegedly are not going to be going to the Jubilee celebrations in June. The body language guy, not the blind guy, the body language guy said a few, I think, weeks ago that he was sure that they would not be going. Watch the space, they won't be going. So he was quite emphatic about it. That's his opinion. And subsequently, the Teresa Longo fans, guys, Bark, Jack, have come out and said that they have heard that Harry and Meghan have decided not to go. They will not be there on the balcony or anywhere else in June. That was a recent announcement in the past few days, and so I'm going to be doing a reading on it. Will they or won't they? Just a Celtic Cross using the regular Rider-Waite. It needs a bit more shuffling to see what the situation is with Harry and Meghan, and what they're up to, what's been going on, what we're going to be hearing next, how Harry feels about going, how Meghan feels about going, and ultimately whether they will or won't. I know everyone will be mighty relieved, in my opinion, if they don't go. There might be some in the royal family, the Queen for instance, who is disappointed that they don't show up. But we're just going to look and see what the cards have to say. The Devil did pop up in that little pre-shuffle. Well, not a pre-shuffle, I'm shuffling now. I do pre-shuffle before I switch the camera on. But I do carry on shuffling in front of the camera so you can see that this is all spontaneous. And here we go. We're ready? Celtic Cross coming up. Will they or won't they? What's going on with the Harkles? Teresa Longo fans do seem to have pretty good inside information from the Harkle camp and from the royals. So I think they're quite compelling as a source. Not always, but in this case they seem to have good insights. So we're going to check it now with the Rider-Waite Tarot and see what is going on. Underlying energy is the Four of Wands, which is the Happy Home card. It is the Jubilee celebrations. It is literally the card of celebration, the Four of Wands. It is of course also the royal family, one of the royal family cards, because it's very stable foundation, and it is also a happy home, a happy couple card. And there it is. So we're talking about the Jubilee celebrations, and a card literally of celebration has come out. So that is what it is. It's a very happy, very positive underlying energy for this reading. So perhaps they are going to show up after all, or perhaps they're going to decide to stay happily at their own home and the royals will have their own very happy celebrations without them. All in my opinion, of course. And Fluffy scratching in agreement. Again, my poor furniture. The central issue, the issue as it is in this situation, is the Queen in reverse, the Queen of Swords in reverse. And of course, June, Gemini, the official birthday of Her Majesty the Queen is in June. That is trooping the colour. That is the focus of the Jubilee celebrations. And the Queen of Swords is in reverse. Sword pointing down, the no speaks energy when the sword is pointing down. The Queen of Swords is of course the Queen in her very clear-headed, incisive, decisive, far-seeing energy, and very shrewd and very wise. In the reverse, cutting out, quite coldly, quite cruelly cutting out. It looks to me as if they've been told NO, despite all the news that we have been hearing about how preparations have been made for the Harkles to attend. The security problems have been resolved. The royals have made arrangements for them to get the level of security that they expect, regardless of what's going on with the court case. But that is a harsh energy and a cutting energy, very decisive but very cold-blooded. It's not at all emotional. It is just telling it like it is, a big no. And I don't think this is Harkle's energy. This is energy in the corridors of power, Windsor Castle. And their challenge right now is a High Priestess in reverse. It's a silence card and secrets coming out. The High Priestess, it's a mysterious card. It is the card of mysteries. And it is the card of silence and secrets and communication also with the divine, with higher powers, feminine intuition as well. But the card is in the reverse. And that means that there is a disconnect between whoever this card represents and that level of insight and intuition. But it is also secrets coming out, and it is also a stony silence. I always say that with the High Priestess in reverse, a silence that is icy. They've been iced out from these two cards, and quite ruthlessly. Surprising energy this, because it's not really Harkle energy that's coming through. Royal family energy is coming through, and royal family energy in a very controlling and clear way, but ruthless behind the scenes. It's all behind the scenes kind of energy. It's not direct energy. It's behind the scenes energy coming from the royal family, and it's coming out as if you are not welcome, regardless of what we might be hearing in the news, making it very clear that if they do come, I think it will be so awkward and so humiliating for them that they won't want to be there. But let's see what's going on behind the scenes. As I said, this reading is supposed to be from Harry and Meghan's point of view. Behind the scenes, we get the Star card, which is hope and faith and healing and also vulnerability. Maybe wanting to be the star of the show behind the scenes. And of course, very clearly from the central cards of this reading, not being allowed to be the star of the scene, the star of the show, but wanting to be the star of the show. So let's see if the cards will confirm that, their goal, their focus at the moment. Three of Pentacles in reverse. This is the non-cooperation card. Not working with people, not being part of a team, being iced out of a team. They really are not welcome there, and they're really not wanted, and they feel it. They feel that they are not part of this team anymore. The work that is required to be part of this team has not been put in. And so they have been cut out of the team. You're not with us. You are against us. It's a very curious energy coming through this reading. And I have to say that the readings in the past week have been quite strange. There is some very strange energy going on at the moment. I think it is because of the eclipse season that is coming up and the Mercury retrograde period that is also upon us. We are in that shadow period already. And so strange things going on, very strange things going on, strange energy. But no, they are not team players. They are not part of the team, the family, the working royal family anymore. And just, I keep getting the idea, you are not welcome, you are not welcome, you are not welcome. So let's see what's been going on in the recent past. There is the decision, there is the clarity, there is the truth, the Ace of Swords. They have been told. There is the crown being held aloft in that card by that hand. It's quite a ghostly hand almost. It's almost telling me that there is some, I want to say, intervention from the afterlife. That's a weird energy that I'm getting, but it is almost as if Prince Philip is speaking, excuse me, and I'm losing my voice as I say that, speaking from beyond the grave and saying, no, they are not allowed to attend. But there has been a decision, a new start, a very clear new start. I think the law has been laid down to the Harkles when they allegedly were summoned to Windsor Castle. There's been some conflict about who invited whom to Windsor Castle. That some people say that Harry was the one that said, "Oh, by the way, we're flying over you on the way to the Netherlands. We'd like to pop in." There are others that will say, "Oh no, they were summoned by the Queen. You will appear and you will attend and you will listen to what I have to say." And it looks to me more like you will attend and you will listen to what I have to say. And something very decisive was told to them, something very clear, no doubts, no confusion, something very clear told to them by that Queen of Swords with the sword pointing down. You're done, you're finished, you're out. You are out. And so what will be happening in the near future? What will we be hearing or seeing in the coming days? Defensiveness, and this is Harkle's, boundaries, and we're probably going to hear about mental health issues and security issues, because both of those are reflected very clearly in this card, the Nine of Wands. The mental health issues with the bandage around the head, how wounded the Harkles are, how difficult it is for them, difficult to deal with. Going back to the UK, it's traumatizing. Of course, all those cameras clicking, it's PTSD, all the rest of it. But also the wands, the Nine of Wands, are a boundary, a barricade. And security. We don't feel safe, or the security is inadequate, or we feel safer at home, or we just don't trust the royals. And so there is this boundary around us, there's a boundary around them. They could say that the royals are an impenetrable fortress and aren't welcoming, don't want to receive them. But there is this idea of separation and distance and alienation in the Nine of Wands. It's not a happy card, it's not a welcoming card, it's not a homecoming card, it's none of those things. It's a card of injury, a card of wounding, and a card of distancing and self-preservation, putting one's guard up and saying, no, I'm not going to be attacked, I'm not going to be vulnerable, I'm not going to show up and be attacked, because there could be some concern that they may well be attacked. A lot of people have said that if the Harkles show up, they risk being booed. Lady C said it recently in a television interview, and a lot of people are saying on social media that if the Harkles dare show their faces in public in June, they won't be answerable for their behaviour. Tomatoes, booing, raspberries, all that kind of thing. So let's see individually how the Harkles feel about this, because still the talk swirls around that Meghan is insistent on having that christening for Lilibet, or Invisibet, as some people like to call her, the invisible child. She wants that christening as part of the deal. Of course, neither her nor Harry seem to be practicing Christians. They don't seem to care at all about things like that. So why the christening is important, except of course for celebrity and showing that they are still royal adjacent and maybe selling to People magazine or something. But anyway, how does Harry feel about it? Tess barking, sorry about this. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. He feels trapped, he feels stuck, he doesn't feel free, he doesn't feel financially secure. The Nine of Pentacles upright is the card of financial independence, freedom, one's own personal freedom, feeling flush, feeling successful, feeling as if you're not answerable to anyone. He does not feel free. He feels like he's beholden still to his paymasters, whether they are Netflix or Spotify or Better Up, Trouble at Better Up, of course. But he doesn't seem to be actually in charge of this situation. He does not seem to be the one whose decision is in fact decisive in this case at all. With that Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it looks like he has got things he's got to do that he needs to do in order to make money. And going to the Jubilee celebration may only work if he is the star of the occasion, and clearly is not going to be the star of the occasion with that card. And how does Meghan feel about it? Let's slide Harry's card down. How does Meghan feel about it? I think she would like to go. Interesting. She would like to go because she would like to be seen, to be almost as if the royals are apologizing to her, making peace with her. Peacemaker card, the temperance card. And my throat's getting scratchy again. It is the card of healing. It is the card of balance. It is the card of being temperate and moderate, and all those extremes of energy and emotion being evened out. It is almost a feeling of an olive branch being extended. I think she would like to go because she would like to be seen to be angelic and be seen to be the bigger person in the whole thing. That she is the one who was gracious enough to attend. The Queen actually begged her to come. She agreed. But it seems to be with the caveat that there is some sort of quid pro quo, all this weird Latin coming out for some reason, for attending, because one hand gives and the other receives, and then it exchanges in this temperance card. It's a giving and a taking energy. It's a bit Six of Pentacles, the temperance card, major arcana, Six of Pentacles. She wants something in return. I was talking about the christening. I think that's what she wants. She wants it. She wants her little angel christened, Lilibet with Lilibet. She wants that. That moment captured for posterity, so that Lilibet can always live off that reflected glory, and she herself can live off it too, as the mother of the child who shares that famous name with the longest serving queen in the UK. And she wants that, so she does want it. Harry is the one who looks awkward and uncomfortable with this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, maybe feeling as if he's a bit of a poor relation, tagging along to this event and being stuffed at the back of the balcony with people who really aren't welcome, such as perhaps Prince Andrew. And so let's see their hopes and fears right now. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. That is, of course, Her Majesty, the Queen. We've got two cards that signify the Queen, both in reverse. This is herself as the Taurus Queen in reverse again. That is not being welcoming, not being supportive, not being generous, not being open-hearted. The Queen of Pentacles, when she's upright, is very indulgent, welcoming, hospitable, gracious. My house is your house. In the reverse, they are worried that they won't get the level of reception, pampering, treatment that they expect. They feel that they deserve. Two cards telling me that the Queen's energy is really quite hostile towards them. Forever, whatever the gloss was that they put on the meeting at Windsor Castle, the truth of the matter, allegedly, according to these cards, and always there is a disclaimer in the box below. This is just a tarot reading. This is just my opinion for entertainment purposes, but the Queen's energy looks pretty hostile. Angry, cold, cutting. You're not welcome. Meghan wants it. Harry feels a bit of a spare wheel. Meghan wants it because she wants to be the star. Harry wants to be the star too, but feels like the poor relation. So let us see. Drum roll. Are Bark Jack and the body language guy correct in their assessment that the Harkles won't be going? Of course, energy changes. We're still just over a month out. Can't believe it's going so quickly. It doesn't look like it. Six of Pentacles in reverse. There's a card of imbalance. I talked about it with that Temperance card. It's a card of imbalance. It's a card, there it is, a card of begging and charity and receiving alms. So if they went, it would make them look like beggars. I have kept saying that with Prince Harry. It was the energy of the poor relation. They don't want to be seen as the poor relations. They don't want to be seen as the people who need this so desperately that they will show up, however awkward it is. And how interesting that they feel as if they will be exposed as being having very little to contribute and everything to gain from this, that they are not welcome from the Queen very clearly, and that ultimately this will be, it will reflect poorly on them. It will make them look like beggars. It will make them look as if, and make them literally look like grifters, in my opinion, that they are out to take what they can from the royal family. And that, of course, has been what people people have been saying about Harry and Meghan, and in particular Harry recently, that he has been using the Invictus Games, for his own personal benefit, making money out of the Invictus Games, making money out of the veterans. Then, of course, there has been the Better Up scandal, where people allegedly are having their salaries cut quite radically. Meanwhile, the company is valued at $5 billion, I think, for their IPO. And so all kinds of unsavory things going on. Harry being accused left, right and centre of being out simply to monetize his relationship with the royals. And of course the Tina Brown book, also accusing Meghan of just being interested in what freebies she could get her grubby hands on, even after she joined the royal family officially and had everything that life could possibly offer her in terms of luxury and ease. She was still available for merching opportunities and freebies. And so it does not reflect well on them. And it seems that they are finally aware of this, and that this does not reflect well of them. And it might be the reason why they decide ultimately to stay away. I think it's still, it's not quite final. Of course, we'll keep reading on this. A month out, this is what the cards are telling me. They're defensive, they are worried. Royals seem quite to be holding their ground quite firmly, don't want them there. Very clearly don't want them there. People don't want them there, according to opinion polls. Very clearly don't want them there. So does not look good for Harry and Meghan. It looks good for the royals, who do not want to be standing on the balcony with Harry and Meghan. Meghan, of course, with the very hostile glare that she gave to poor Catherine the last time she was on the balcony. And who wants to see that again? So there's the reading. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.